What's going on, guys? Kivox and Meekachii here, and we just watched Fantastic Beasts 3, The Secrets of Dumbledore. I wasn't sure if it was Secrets or The Secret of Dumbledore. So we're going to do a first impression, and that's pretty much it. We were going to do it yesterday. Things got too busy, so we couldn't do it. So we watched it yesterday.
Afternoon.
It's in the morning right now of the next day. And for the most part, it was fine.
Okay, wait. So book rating.
Wait, first, let's do no spoilers at the beginning. All right. So let's not spoil anything from the movie. We're just gonna give our general ideas or like thoughts initially, and then we'll get into a spoiler thing. And if you guys haven't watched it yet, I personally think if you like the other ones, you'll like this one. It'll be good. I definitely don't think it's like just don't watch it.
No.
You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm glad that you agree with that. So
I would give it, if it was a book rating, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, so slightly above average. Okay, now for a Wizarding World rating, like out of all of the Wizarding World things that we have, so basically the movies and the books,
I would say you can't really compare Fantastic Beasts to the original Harry Potter.
But so can you compare it to the other two? So
this is my least favorite.
Is it now?
Okay. Yeah. I
think it had the best action out of all of them.
Really? Because there was hardly any action.
There was a ton of fights. It was set up and then fight. And then set up, and then fight, and then set up,
but the
and then fight.
fights were like 2 seconds, and they were kind of like, even at one point you were like, this is like a D&D fight, because they're like, it's supposed to be like great. 6 seconds per round.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was just like boom, 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 done. It was like, yeah. I literally said that to you. That's true. I did. I was very proud of myself when I said that. I was just like, this is D&D right now. This is happening. I love it.
What would you rate it in a book rating? Like
you
how
mean
we
just
rate
a rating
the books?
Out of 5?
Yeah.
I'd say 3.5, maybe 4. Maybe there were parts that I liked and parts that I just I was like, this makes no sense. Like, actually, no, 3.5. You're right. I'm gonna go with you. You're right. 3.5.
That's shocking. We hardly ever agree. 3.5
because it's just like, if this was a book, I would be I would be more strict with it, and I would give it a 3.5. So yeah, right now I'm rating it like I would a book and all of that. So, but yeah, I'd say I think it was fun. So if you guys are planning on watching it, I think you'll have fun.
I feel like people liked it generally more than we did. Because the people that we know that we talked to that watched it are like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's so good.
Some of them, yeah. And also yesterday when we got home, we checked the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, and it was like 73 critic review and 79 audience review. Right now, this is the Sunday that the movie came out. 49 critic review and 85 audience review. So it's skewing a little bit like in opposite directions. I do want you to read this right here though, Meek, because I think that this kind of sums it up.
So one of our Discord members wrote, the film kind of sparked more appreciation for Harry Potter films, to say really that those films were truly lightning in a bottle. These new films are good, but I feel like the way they were crafted, they were missing something. A slight ingredient that makes them truly magical. Is it the era? I did enjoy the film, but it's made me think a lot about the over aspect of the Wizarding World in general. How he gave my friend... Oh, never mind. Forget that last part. I don't really understand what he was saying. I feel like when I read stuff like that out loud, I can't comprehend.
That's ridiculous. Oh yeah, when I read things, I just don't understand it. Somebody has to read it to me.
Because look, people are texting. It skews words. It doesn't autocorrect sometimes. It autocorrects where it shouldn't. So
That's
it's
fine. So basically, what he was saying was that there's something missing from the movie, right? It's not like the old stories, I guess, which is the new stories.
Well, they were books and they were fleshed out or fleshed out. I don't know the term.
Fleshed out.
Edited and written differently. I mean, a book is written differently than a script. So,
but also realistically, the old movies they're okay.
They're not great.
The books are much better,
Yeah.
and I know the book's so much better. Blah blah blah.
I do feel like the secrets of Dumbledore. What are the secrets? Wait,
I
are we
think-
going into spoilers now?
I think there was one big secret that but
I don't feel like we learned anything new.
But here's the thing, though. Are we talking? All right. You know what? Before I go any further, we're going to spoil some stuff. We're going to start spoiling stuff. We're going to go light spoilers right now. I'm just warning you. So if you haven't watched it and you're planning on watching it, go watch it and then come back. Or just listen to us talk about it, see what we think and then go watch it. Whatever. Do whatever you want. I can't tell you what to do. But my point that I was going to make was that there are multiple Dumbledores.
What do you mean?
There are multiple Dumbledores. So maybe we're not talking about Albus. Maybe we're talking about
Oh, I see.
his bro. You know what I'm saying?
As far as I see. So the secrets of Dumbledore, we're not talking about actual
maybe.
Dumbledore.
I mean, there are secrets. There is
because he's not the only Dumbledore.
He's not the only Dumbledore, right?
I see.
So maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the.
We made a list of some of the things that kind of bugged us or we thought about during the movie. At least mine is stuff that bugged me.
Oh, no. Yeah, mine wasn't. It was just thoughts about the movie. It wasn't
shoot.
Things that bugged me.
I feel like the whole trailer. How did you feel about Jacob's wand?
How did I feel about it?
Yeah.
I thought it looked nice.
I feel like the trailer obviously made it seem like he was getting an actual wand.
Of course, but it's a trailer. It's supposed to fool you, Like, I'm not upset about that. That's fine. I'm glad that they didn't, shoehorn some, maybe he's a little magical. I was kind of hoping that that's what it was going to be. Like, he had maybe some magic blood and he was going to be magic or something.
I thought there was going to be a way that they were going to give him magic of some sort.
Which would have broken the whole
I know, which would have
universe.
pissed a lot of people off.
No, but it would have just broken it. I don't care about pissing people off. I'm just saying that it would have. Honestly, I don't care about pissing people. I hate that, and I hate when people write things based on trying to not piss somebody off or piss somebody off or whatever. Just write what you want to write. But that would have just ruined the world because again, this is in the past. If they found this out later in the future after the whole Harry Potter thing, after the whole Grindelwald thing, and they find out, oh, muggles are actually magical too, or they can be magical if you do this. It's like, okay, that solves all of our problems. Now we can all just be magical, And then there's no need for this movie anymore. Or
literally, that's the whole thing with this movie.
with both of them,
Yeah.
really, because he wants to rule over the humans, and this guy wants to just get rid of humans, basically, at this point, right?
I don't know. I felt like they
It was a
alluded
cop-out.
to it so much in the trailer that it's one of those situations where you're expecting this super epic explanation and how does this happen, and then it's just kind of it's a fake wand. Here you go. And it's
Yeah. So
right.
I thought that all of the actors did great. I think everyone did a great job. There were no weak points in this whole movie for acting. I think that the weakest thing was
the writing.
The writing was not good. Some of Dumbledore's lines, I was just Albus's lines, I was just why?
Which ones?
Okay, so a big thing was right at the beginning, he was just yo, guys, I'm gay, bro. Right?
Love made me do stupid things.
Yeah, love made me do, I was in love with him, is basically what he said. Give or take a couple things there. But basically I was just okay, cool. We're getting right into it. It's official now, even though she said it in the past. It's finally official. They said it in the movie. It's on screen.
Which
cool.
we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for them to concretely say okay, they had a relationship.
And in the last movie, everybody got pissed because she was saying that he was gay, but then they never specifically made it obvious. It was kind of implied, and then you can also argue that it wasn't implied as well. So it was just in this one,
they made it very obvious.
They made it very obvious.
Several times,
which annoyed me in some ways because I feel okay, we get it, bro. I feel like they were really trying to tell us this, and I feel like it was kind of a weak point for the writing, for the way that they did it. And you mentioned Dumbledore is very kind of secretive, right? He doesn't just blurt out all of his feelings and things that he's, how he really feels. It's always Dumbledore's big thing is that he's always a mystery, right? He's always just like, what's going on?
He never reveals anything about himself in the books, like the Harry Potter books. Like Harry Potter several times asks him about his past and things that have happened to him, or his wishes, his ambitions, and he always skirts around it, right? Yeah. He never talks about himself. So for me for him to come out and say things several times in this movie, like just plain out there in the open, was kind of weird.
It was weird. Like I get it, and I thought it was fine, but it was just like,
I don't feel like he would be like, I loved him. Several times.
Is it ham-fisted or is it hand-fisted?
I don't know.
Which one is it? But
I don't know.
That's how it felt. It felt like somebody had a handful of ham and they were just fisting me in the face with it.
Hand holding.
It's ham-fisted, right?
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments which one it is. The word for this video is going to be ham. So include that in your comment, and we'll know that you watched this far, I guess. But I liked it. I thought it was fine. Some of the CG was weird. Like you didn't notice it, but like the bracelet that he wears, the necklace I guess, that is around his hand now, like prayer beads, right? It also goes, I guess, all the way down his arm to his hands, which was very weird.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, because at some point it's choking him, right?
Yeah.
But it's also crushing his arm.
Yeah.
There was some weird stuff. Like I felt like it wasn't as crazy. No, it was. I think at some points the story was as crazy as the second one, where it was just like, what's happening? Why are people doing these things? But also at the same time, the way that the story progressed was weird.
It explained. It was weird though, because like several times I was like, I looked over at you and I'm like, what, what just happened? Like, why did this just happen? And then literally 3 seconds later, they're like, let me explain all of this to you in layman's terms.
Yeah,
like it did that like 3 or 4 times.
There was a lot of exposition
where it was like,
true.
All right, you didn't get this. We know you didn't get this. So this is what happened.
Which in the second movie they didn't really do a lot of, and that was a big complaint. But I feel like it was
directed better.
I disagree. You should rewatch it. You should rewatch that movie. It really didn't make a lot of sense, and I feel like this movie, a lot of the I was gonna say NPCs, a lot of the extra characters, like there were so many times that they knocked people out. The bad guys just knocked people out. Like they were just like, oh, I'm gonna just knock Newt out with a spell. Stupefy. Also, I did enjoy that nobody spoke a spell.
Not a single person.
I was like, nice. Adult
and you just knew
casting.
that like certain spells were what they were based on the way they looked.
Yeah.
Like,
but okay, so a big thing about Harry Potter.
Crucio. They did say that spell.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I think that was specifically.
So you knew what was going on with Jake.
What was going on with Jacob. Yeah,
all right, we're going into full spoiler territory now.
Well, yeah, at this point we're talking about everything.
So one thing that I felt like they really screwed over a couple of pretty main characters. So like Tina wasn't in it. Again, what the hell happened?
There's too much of a gap between the movies, right? There's too much of like.
But they don't explain that gap.
I know, and like. Newt and Tina have always been like, ever since the first movie they were great. It looks like, oh, they're gonna be happy together, and then the second one they have like some stupid drama, even though apparently they have TVs that they could just broadcast stuff to everybody because they were broadcasting to the whole world. Is that new tech?
Nah.
From the past?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, why wouldn't they have that in the Harry Potter series?
Did they even have television back then?
No.
No. Like the Muggle world, did they have television?
No.
Because it was like the early...
Wait, it was like 19... No, wait, when was it?
Because it's been years now. I don't know. Ezra Miller's hair has grown.
Like down to his shoulders.
Down to his shoulders. So it's been at least a couple years since the last one, right?
Is that how we're supposed to measure time?
Yeah. It just like in Black Widow's hair in the Marvel movies, it's blonde in one movie, then it gets longer and half of it's blonde, and then it gets longer, and then eventually she cuts off the blonde. That's how you know how much time has gone by. You have to estimate and then they also tell you 5 years has gone by. But okay, so.
But like, I don't understand the whole thing with Tina. I feel like they set up things in the second movie and like.
And it seemed like they were going to be okay.
Yeah, and then it's just like they don't mention her until the very end, basically, of this movie.
She's like she's
a non-character.
Well, she got like upgraded. You know, she got
she's
promoted.
living her own life.
Well, she got promoted at work,
Mm-hmm.
and now I guess she's too busy to save the world.
But they don't mention it, really? Like, they kind of mention it
No,
for a second.
they literally say that she got promoted to the head of the Auror office.
So, my other thing is Credence. I feel
know.
like...
They
so,
shafted
first
him.
off, the second movie, they bring a lot of Tina, a lot of Credence, and, like, the ending of the second movie is this whole, like, he's a Dumbledore thing, and then in this movie, it's just kind of like, meh. Like... You barely hear about Credence. He's barely in it. And then they explain the Dumbledore thing. And then he kind of dies. Does he die? I don't even know if he dies. Like, he may die at the end. And then I just feel like they did him dirty. Like, I don't know.
So big spoilers right now, right? He is a Dumbledore, but he's Aberforth's son. That he had a fling with some lady.
And he thought he might have a son, but he wasn't sure.
But then he didn't tell Albus because they weren't really friends. Albus hasn't really grown up being friends. And also, okay, was it Albus and Aberforth? I feel like I'm saying his Aberforth. That were fighting that caused their sister's death?
Yeah, I believe so.
It was not... Grindelwald was not involved in that.
Let's Google this. Ariana was killed in the crossfire of a three-way fight between Albus, his brother Aberforth, and Grindelwald.
You see? A three-way fight.
I mean, this is according to some random website, but I'm sure it's right. I mean...
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So in the movie, they specifically say that...
It's the brothers.
It's the two brothers only. And...
He's like, he took out his wand, and then I stupidly took out my wand.
And Grindelwald laughed.
I don't even remember Grindelwald being there.
No, he said he just laughed. And then nobody saw her come down the stairs and she got randomly. So I guess you could assume that maybe that happened.
I was hoping we would see that fight, like a past of that fight at some point.
I was hoping to.
I feel like this movie ended this saga. Like, I feel like this is now almost over. And if they make more movies, it's going to be jumped in the future, like, significantly.
I would hope so.
But, like, I feel like so much was left unsaid and unexplained for them to make this the end.
Yeah.
I feel like, I feel like the second movie, like, hyped up all these points that they just forgot about or didn't embellish upon in this movie. Like, Credence and his whole Dumbledore thing. They made that such a big deal. And in this movie, it just seemed like an afterthought.
It really... It was a letdown, that for sure. So the plot points, right? Whatever happened to Nagini?
They didn't mention her at all, not once.
I don't remember what happened to her in the second movie. Let us know if you guys remember.
But
let us know down below.
I feel like they should have mentioned something. That was a big part of the last movie.
That was also a big thing that people hated because it's just like people were like, why did they just add her in? Like, it was just like hey guys, look at this character that you know. The same thing with McGonagall.
That doesn't bother me as much. I mean, maybe she just looks really good.
But the time frame doesn't make sense because they have a date of when she was born. So that's the problem, is that we have a date, a canon date of when she was born, and technically she shouldn't be born then. And also, I believe her mother's maiden name was not McGonagall.
So why are they calling her that?
So so that's the big thing, right? Like, well, they were calling her Minerva, which her mom's name I don't think is Minerva.
No, her first name is Minerva.
Her mother's name wouldn't be Minerva.
You're saying because this isn't the McGonagall we know?
Yeah, like if it was her mother or something, you know.
Did her mother work at the school?
I don't know. I don't know, okay? But I'm just saying, like, I was just trying to, like, oh, maybe it's her mom or something, right? But, like, it's obviously not. And she's not, like, 15, you know, if this was 10 years later or some crazy, I don't know. I don't know all the dates. I'm just saying They should have figured that out. It's so like.
I even feel like Newt was kind of a side character
Dude,
in this.
okay. So Newt was the first movie I still think was the best for introduction to this new world and all this cool stuff. And then the second one was just a hot mess. And then this one was kind of a hot mess. It had very enjoyable wizard battles. That is the best part about it. Dude, you need to rewatch the wizard battles because it was cool.
Okay, what I'm saying though is I feel like they completely just the plot in this was so little for a 2.5 hour movie that like you could literally sum this up in like a paragraph. Really, like the plot line and what happened.
Yeah, so there was a lot of like, hey guys, we need to meet up, we need to plan the heist, and then we need to go accomplish the heist.
And then F up totally.
And then that happened about
three times.
And then but you know, there was a lot of that. And then what I also didn't like about it was Dumbledore was just kind of like, hey, I know everything that's gonna happen, so take all of these MacGuffins or whatever, you know, these Deus Ex Machinas that are gonna save you when you need them. I'm not gonna tell you what they are, but just trust me.
Or explain anything.
And at some point he even says to Theseus, he says, Newt's brother, he says, I'm gonna need you to trust me. Even when it seems like your gut is telling you to go like completely not trust me, I'm gonna need you to trust me fully. Because I'm the man and I know everything, which is cool. I like Dumbledore. He's one of my favorite characters. He's like the Obi-Wan of the wizarding world. You know, they should put what's his face.
Oh, we were talking about Newt, and then we totally
then we
lost
got
track.
off track. Yeah, because that's what happens when we talk about movies. We don't stay on track. We just talk about everything.
But they kind of screwed him over.
I think he was still a part of it, but at this point, like you can't. The story isn't about him anymore. The first movie was about him. The second movie was about Grindelwald, and then this one's about Dumbledore and Grindelwald, basically. But Dumbledore is like not that in it. You know, he's like he's in the background. He's the guy in the chair, basically, at this point. But I think Mads Mikkelsen did a really good job with
I do think it's weird that they didn't even try to explain why he looks completely different. They could have brought something into the story, even as simple, because like Voldemort can change the way he looks, right? So why couldn't?
Can he?
I thought he could.
No.
Oh.
I don't think so. I think
you're right.
Yeah, he's like slowly changed the way he looked by all of
I feel like they could have explained him looking differently, or at least tried. Like they didn't even try.
They
were
could have
just
made
like
him into like Tonks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that's kind of what we just have to tell ourselves.
It's just weird that they don't mention it at all.
But okay, so here's the thing.
And then they hire that other guy that looks just like him.
Oh, that was the worst. there's like some political guy. Is he here?
Oh, what is his name?
Where's the full cast? So the guy that plays, what was it, Anton?
Yeah.
His name is, read that.
Oliver Masucci.
He is like a
lookalike of Mads.
A Mads Mikkelsen lookalike. I swear to you.
There were points where we didn't know who was
I was
talking.
like, is this Grindelwald right now? I was just like.
And I was like, yeah, that's totally him.
Like, you're like, yeah, I think so. And I'm like, okay, because he kind of is talking different. Maybe he's doing a voice. Like he's like in disguise, I guess. And then I thought like, oh, maybe people don't know what he looks like. You know, I thought like, I was like, oh, maybe since he changed how he looked again, maybe nobody knows what the new thing is like. And then I see these wanted posters that have Mads Mikkelsen on it.
Yeah, they picked an actor that just looked way too much like the main character, and it was very confusing.
It was stupid. Like, it's easy to not pick an actor that looks just like them. And then they're in the same scene, and I'm like, which one is it which? Like, they look legit. Like, obviously, right next to each other, they're not exactly the same.
Yeah, no.
But, like...
I think you can understand, like, Mads Mikkelsen has, like, a very distinct mouth.
Yeah.
And I think that's how, like, his teeth are very distinct. So I think that's how I distinguish the two from one another. Because other than that, they look very similar.
I think he did a good job of playing Grindelwald, but I don't know. I feel like he's changed so much since he was Johnny Depp. So it's like... It's weird to see.
Well, think about it. In the first movie, he was a different dude. So why?
Well, no, but he was playing a different dude. Like, they thought that he was that guy. So basically, he probably killed that guy, and then transformed into him.
Polyjuice.
Yeah, and then transformed into
So why
him.
couldn't they just explain it as Polyjuice?
But he was acting as that guy. So remember
What I'm
when
saying is like they could have used Polyjuice to explain why he looks the way he does now, or something.
Sure. But why did he change the way he acts?
I don't know.
That's my issue. That I think he did a great job.
No,
Obviously,
I don't think any of the actors did a bad job.
Obviously, you don't want him to be like Johnny Depp, right? You don't want him to try to act like Johnny Depp. Like you kind of can't do that. But it's just like when the Doctor reincarnates from Doctor Who, his personality changes, right? But you expect that. That's part of the story. That's part of the thing. You get a new showrunner, things change. But this, it's not supposed to change.
It's the same dude.
It's the same dude, and
they just don't talk about the change at all. That's weird to me. The fact that they don't try to explain him looking completely different. You got to at least try.
So my big issue too is like I mentioned this earlier was, why did they knock people out, right? Bad people that want to take Newt out. Why would they just knock him out? Just change your spell to something that's going to kill him. And then the movie ends and the bad guy wins. Like, it's so simple. There was so many points where I'm just like, why are they knocking them out? Like, what's the point? Why? Okay, so at some point they catch Theseus and then they put him in a cage where he's going to get eaten by a freaking blast-ended screw or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know
what
that
was. They were?
I don't know.
Am I saying that right?
Blast-ended screw. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand though. Like they imprison him in this place, and then they just let Newt walk in there. They're just like, ha, sure.
Well,
you want to go rescue your brother?
He had the paperwork that Dumbledore just knew.
It's just weird.
And to give him, like, that's the weird thing, right? It was like it was scene. Like, do this scene. Okay, cool. Now let's set up the next scene. How do you guys get there? Okay, here, Dumbledore has all the keys and we have a teleporty thing to get there. Here, boom, go do that. Okay, we did that. We failed or succeeded. Now what do we do? Okay, let's meet up with Dumbledore again because he has the next part of the mission and he has the keys to the vault that we got to go to. Okay, here are your keys. There's a teleporty door over there. Go check
I don't
that out.
understand the port key thing either because I thought port keys were set up to go off at a very specific time.
No.
Not at...
Some of them are when you touch them.
But they were holding that tie the entire time. So
Yeah, but-
what was the trigger?
Oh, it was teleport us, yo. It was grab the tie.
That's dumb. Like the port keys have very specific rules.
The tie's a port key or something. No, he said grab the tie. That's what he said.
I don't know. They have very specific rules, and I feel like.
But here's the thing. There's my biggest issue with the Harry Potter world, the Wizarding world. There are no freaking rules, man. There are no rules to magic in this world. It's just willy-nilly. And then whenever we try to figure stuff out, we just make it more complicated for ourselves. And that's just the Wizarding world. It's fantastical magic. That's what it is, and there's no rules to it. And that was the biggest problem. And that's why I try not to think about the magic in the Wizarding world because it makes no freaking sense. Again, why wouldn't the bad guys kill the good guys? I get why the good guys won't kill the bad guys.
Well, I guess because, like, if you think about it, in the Harry Potter books, they talk about the killing curse being almost difficult to cast. Like, you have to truly deep down mean it and, like, really want the person dead in order for it to work.
Okay, very beginning of the movie, when you first see Newt.
That thing gets killed.
Kill Newt first, and then kill the thing.
I guess.
Kill the guy with the gun before you kill the baby. You know, the dumb horse that's just sitting there literally giving birth. It's not going to run. And if it is, it's probably going to poop out a baby on the way. So then you're there to kidnap the baby. Kill the guy with the unlimited ammo gun, aka wand.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's so many points where the main characters just got bonked on the head. Basically bonked on the head, equivalent. And it's just like, you guys are the bad guys. Why are you stupid? So that's my biggest. That was like every time that happened, I'm like, why don't they just? Did I not turn to you and say, why don't they just kill him? Why did they let him live?
I feel like in the other movies, it was more of like they didn't get the opportunity, or like it was different. Like the opportunity did not arise for them to die, essentially.
Also, no one died.
In this one, though, it was just legit like point blank range and like, I'm just going to knock you out.
Okay, look, you can make the argument that Grindelwald said, don't kill any
Why would he
pure
care?
blood wizards because he's all about the pure blood thing.
Yeah.
But no, this is a war. They're trying to stop him. He would not do that. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about Ezra Miller's character, right? He doesn't care about him because he's just using him.
I can't believe how much they screwed over Credence, like that storyline.
I think it would have made more sense if the way that he was a Dumbledore was like, what's her face died, right? His Dumbledore's sister, and they found a way to like extract something from her.
Well, you said that in the movie.
Yeah, and put it into him. And I was like, oh, that would be really cool. And then they're just like, no, he's just his son. And it's like, what? That's such a dumb thing
because
to be.
Like literally in the middle of the movie, he's like whispering to me. He's like, okay. What if they found a way, because they're both like that. What are they? Obscurious or
whatever.
Obscuro, whatever they are.
You guys know what we're talking about.
But like, what if they found a way to transfer that into a different body and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then that's how he's like a Dumbledore.
I'd be like, all right, okay.
You know?
All right.
That would have been cooler, right?
Yeah, because I feel like once you find out, like Aberforth, once he found out there was another Dumbledore, he would have been like, oh, shoot, man. I don't know. Let's look at my list. Well, I wrote other stuff down. I just felt like that, going backwards, that whole prison scene was stupid. I feel like there were entirely too many of the same events that they kept going to.
Yes.
Like it was all political events, and like there were like 3 events that they went to, and it was just like, here, let's plop in this political event. It's all boring nonsense going on. Okay. But then like some mini battle is going to happen. And then the end, like now we're on to the next thing. Like that happened way too many times. Yeah. In my opinion. And then I just felt like it slowed down the movie. Like the movie was too slow at times and then too fast at other times. Like the pacing was completely off. And then my last complaint is really like the end, like how it ended. Like in a way, I understand Dumbledore being kind of a loner and not going into the wedding. But dude, these are his friends, essentially. Like he's been asking them for help. He's been going to them, confiding in them, telling them about his love life and his story. And then you're just going to sit outside during the wedding and then walk away. That's so stupid.
It was. It made no sense. But also, before that ending, there was the big fight, which was beautiful. It was really good, except for the fact that they went into like another dimension to fight. Twice.
Yeah, I didn't know. They did that a few times, I think.
It was Dumbledore versus Credence, and then Dumbledore versus Grindelwald. Those are the 2 fights that they went into like a different dimension and fought.
Yeah.
Remember? It looked cool. And
almost Inception style looking.
Yeah, but it was like, why?
I didn't get it.
Because
then they went back into the real world and like the buildings were fine and everything was fine.
So it was like a Dragon Ball Z like mind battle type thing where like they meditate and like it happens in a split second. It was just weird. Like the fight was beautiful, but I don't see why. I guess the way that the reason they did that is so that it was like, I get the first one with Ezra Miller's character and Dumbledore, because it was they would have killed a bunch of like muggles, right? If I guess Dumbledore did that when he like spit on Credence's forehead through the glass. He spit into like a reflection of himself. He went. He like blew air, but it was like a spit bubble that flew through the reflection and then went, reflected back.
And hit Credence in the head.
Once he spit, it went through the other dimension, the mirror dimension, and then it hits him in the head, and then they start.
That's like what's so weird about this is like some things they over explained, and then things like that they just don't explain at all.
It's fantastical magic. It's what Harry Potter has always been. It's like doesn't really make sense. Let's just come up with some cool stuff, but there's no logic to this magic. Also, he's like 18.
Ezra?
Yeah, and he just, in the movie, I'm assuming he's supposed to be like 18. I think the actor's like 30 or something, late 20s. We can actually find out in like 2 seconds. I'm going to say 28. 92. 30?
I don't know. Are people 30 that were born in 92?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm
30.
so old.
He's 30.
Wow.
I thought I was exactly right, but he's 30.
Wow.
Well, he will be 30 this year. So I think he's supposed to be like maybe early 20s or maybe late teens, right? But he just got a wand in the last movie, and he can cast like a mofo.
Yeah.
He can apparate.
Yeah.
Which is a big effing deal. So what?
And apparate like a pro.
Yeah. He's just like,
Like, shoom, shoom, shoom.
right into that train thing, and he didn't apparate into a pole or something, and just like, get a pole in my arm. Like I thought,
I mean, he is a Dumbledore.
I thought that he was going to have, like, that was going to be his big disadvantage, is that he doesn't have the foundation of magic, right? He just has this raw power.
He was literally born in a world where magic was, like, evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was, like, going to end up being, like, and that's why Dumbledore, like, or Albus could, like, really beat him, because, like, he has that, like, the base knowledge, right? He couldn't apparate, maybe. Because at some point, he's just walking toward him. Dude,
you're right. Like, I didn't think about that. Dumbledore should just be able to, like, blink and he'd be, like, devastated.
Yeah. But he doesn't want to kill him or whatever, that's fine. And Ezra apparently doesn't know the killing curse, because the only thing he knows how to do is buildings.
And apparating.
And apparently apparate. He knows how to crumble buildings and throw them at people. But, like, realistically, they could just go, turn into sand. Like, when what's-his-face, that was a beautiful part of the old movie, though. When Voldemort threw the glass at Dumbledore, and Dumbledore like turned it back into sand. I was just like, ooh, that's some good counterspell magic there. I liked all the characters. I forgot the professor's name, the one that not acquires, the one that what is it called? That gets Jacob. The one that gets Jacob. Her.
Oh, Lally or whatever.
Yeah, she was awesome. I liked how she talked. She had a.
I didn't like it.
I liked it. It was like me doing a D&D voice.
Yeah.
It was like me trying to be.
I thought the accent was a little too much.
It wasn't an accent. She wasn't doing a British accent.
It was like a.
It was like
a cadence.
It was like a proper lady, like a proper, almost like a southern. Maybe not southern.
Like, she was a fine character, but it was just kind of
like old timey,
yeah,
like an old timey person, and I liked it. I thought it was cool. She was cool. At first, I didn't like her. I was like, she's too snotty, and I was just like, nope, I do like her.
She's kind of. I
like her
thought
magic.
The character was just kind of like, eh. She was okay.
I thought it was fun, and then there's so many weird choices. But again, like I said at the beginning, if you like the other movies, I think you'll enjoy this movie. You'll have fun. But I don't think it's really a good movie.
Well, and it's not really like mind breaking.
They had a lot of close up of wands though, which I liked.
I didn't notice.
I was like, ooh. But every single wand, like,
but at the end, you were like, they didn't show any of the new wands.
They did, but they should, like, if this was the handle, they showed them like this. So every single wand basically looked the same, because it's just like, except for a few, like Jacob's wand.
I feel like they should have made Jacob's wand.
I don't know why they didn't replicate Jacob's wand.
That's probably the one wand that they showed the most.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Even though it didn't have a core and it wasn't a real wand, like, I don't know. They showed that wand like 4 times, and then no other wands really. I don't know.
So that's our impressions of this movie. It was okay. This isn't a real review.
No.
But let us know. I would like to know what everybody else thinks. Put a number between 0. No, it can't be a 0.
1 and 5.
1 and 5.
Yeah.
I could see if you think it's a 1, but for the most part, around 3 is what I expect people to give it.
I don't know. Like, the few people that on our chat, or a couple people have mentioned already that they thought it was amazing or excellent or really good.
Some people are saying that this is the best of the 3.
And I'm like,
I think the first one is still the best.
I was kind of bored at some points. I was like, what is this? I yawned a few times because I was like, what is this political nonsense going to go away? Like, okay, like, I get it. It's a big deal.
I could keep talking about this because there was a lot of other things
but
that
I don't need to hear about it 5 times.
Were really weird. Like, they brought back the little deer thing. back to life
I thought that part was kind of cool.
But how? What kind of magic is that? What magic is that?
He put it in a pool of water and it like became like a zombie, basically.
And Batman was in the corner. Ra's al Ghul was in the corner like, yo, I told you guys you can't use my Lazarus pit. Okay? Because that literally was a Lazarus pit from Batman. Do you remember where the Lazarus pit is? Remember Ra's al Ghul?
Not really.
So Ra's al Ghul keeps getting brought back to life, right? They put him in this pit, and his soul comes back. But every time he comes back, he's a little bit crazier.
But this thing was like a puppet. Like he made it basically just bow down to him, so he would get chosen, and like that was the whole point of it. It was like a zombie.
But it was weird. And then why did it die though? When he held it up,
yeah, he was like, "No, this thing is real." And
this is so real. There was a lot of animal killing in this, and I was very like disturbed by it.
I don't like it.
I was just like, "This isn't great. That's a cute little animal. Why are you stabbing it in the throat?"
Slitting its throat.
They didn't show. They did the cutaway like
thing. It was enough though. It was disturbing.
It was weird. I think Mads Mikkelsen, like, it just sucks because I feel like this series has been kind of ruined by a lot of bad decisions in a lot of different ways. The first movie was really cool. I really liked it. I thought it was like the flow of the movie.
And like the characters were so wholesome and like just, I don't know. I feel like the characters over time, they lost their spark. And it just sucks. Because even Queenie was one of my favorite characters. She was so innocent and cute. And then she got all like defensive and serious. And then even in this, for most of the time, she was just like serious and ignoring Jake and stuff. And I was just like, that sucks.
I wonder if there's any sort of like, I wonder if there's a reason that Catherine Waterston, Tina Goldstein,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why she wasn't in it. Like, I wonder if there was a reason, if there was some sort of conflict there with another movie or something, and they just had to like write her out of the movie because
it was done weird.
It made no sense. Like, she knew what happened with her sister. She wasn't really in the second movie either.
She was in it more though.
Yeah,
this was just like they completely ignored her for most of it.
There was one scene that she's like looking up at a TV. A big screen, a big plasma screen that was playing the presidential election. Like, legit, everybody was watching the presidential election, the wizarding president king election. And
it's funny how like in the past they had way more magical technology than they do like in the future.
So weird. And it literally seems like the more I talk about this, the more disappointed I am in this movie. Oh man.
Okay.
I can talk more about this. We'll probably talk about it more on the next live stream.
Yeah, but we just can't talk spoilers too much. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys want us to do like a specific like a live stream about this movie, I think that could be fun too. Just like you guys tell us what you think, and we could talk about it and read it and stuff, and we could just all talk about it. Maybe like next week when like it's been out for like a couple weeks.
Which is weird to me because like there were only 4 other people in that movie theater.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I think people still aren't going to the movies as much unless it's Spider-Man, baby. Because that movie was great.
A lot of people were in there for that.
Oh, yeah. That movie made a bajillion monies. It made a lot of monies.
But literally, there were only 2 other couples in the theater, and like that's it.
Yep.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I guess because it was noon on a Saturday, maybe.
I am still getting all the wands, though, because I don't really care if the movie's good or not. The wands are part of my thing. I just like them. And some of them look real good. Go check out that video. I made a video about it. Bye. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys subscribe and like the video and leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thought about the movie. Anything else? Okay, cool. Say bye, Meek.
Bye, Meek.
Bye.